When I first started planning my gap year, I came up with a set of questions that would animate me through the year, which means that those questions are not exactly questions that I'm seeking to answer throughout my year, but I'm just trying to lay in them. I'm trying to explore them as much as I can, not exactly looking for one possible answer. And in one of the videos we did here in the series, the second episode of Happiness, we explored one of the questions that I set up for myself, which is how can being joyful be enough for me and for others? And that's a question that really stuck with me in that specific period of time because I had my meditation retreat. I was really exploring what does it mean to be completely by myself in a new city, and what does it mean to be enough for me, and how can my happiness and my own will be enough to create the world that I want to create for myself. But now, in the past month or month and a half, I've been exploring my second question that I came up for myself, which is what is the secret of strong and happy communities around the world, and what makes them thrive in today's world? And for me, I would say that I'm a very community oriented person, which means that I like being community. I like the fact that I'm contributing to something bigger than myself. I like to think that my actions are not just impacting me, but impacting those around me. So, in the past months, I've been exploring a lot this question. I've been seeking to be part of communities that are alien to me, and that's what this episode is all about. And I'm gonna share a bit of my reflections of what do I think it means to be in a community, what has struck me about the communities that I've encountered throughout my travels so far, and I'm gonna talk to you about how I craved for community at some point, and I craved for to build and to co-create relationships and something with others, and I hope you like it. So don't forget to give it a like, to subscribe, to comment. We are almost 1,000 subscribers in here, and I'm very happy because of that. I'm very happy that some of you guys are liking to explore the world with me, and I hope I can produce even more videos in 2026, but we're gonna talk about this in the next video. Okay, let's go. Yeah, well, the last episode you saw here was the adventure episode where I talked about my last weeks in Thailand, and that was simply incredible. After I left Thailand, I went to Langkawi in Malaysia to volunteer in a guest house. I discovered the opportunity to volunteer in this guest house through WWOOF. So it's a website called Worldwide Opportunities at Organic Farms. If you guys know Workpackers or Workaway, it works in the same way, but it has a very specific purpose that is for you to help people that are working in organic farms or in rural areas or in the country areas of a specific country that do what they're doing for a living. Um, Either it is in an organic farm growing for themselves, or growing produce to sell for their own benefit and not overall for profit, or people are owning a gas house, and that's basically how they produce their living. And how it works is that you work some bits during the day, some hours, and that's an agreement you make with your host, and they provide you with accommodation and food for free. And that's basically the way I like traveling, because I like to build relationships of trust and also enough reciprocity whenever I'm going, because as a traveler I don't want just to go to a place and suck it in all the experience and all the beauty and all the culture that that place can give me, but I also want to give something back because I'm receiving a lot, so it's fair that I give something back as well. And that comes through volunteering, that comes through the fact that I am giving a bit of my work to that place. So and it was a very nice opportunity. I spent 15 days in Langkawi, Malaysia. Not enough time, of course, but it was just incredible because normally people go to Langkawi for 3-4 days, and I got to experience a bit longer, and I got to meet beautiful people in there, and that's where I started feeling the sense of community in the guest house. Every time the guests would come together in the common area, or that I would talk with my hosts about, I don't know, building a Christmas tree, for example, or decorating the house or doing a party. That's the feeling of co-creation that I was craving for before. I really wanted to be that my work was expressed into something bigger, into something that would clearly help and impact others in a positive way. And I think in Langkawi, that's how I started this journey of exploring this specific question. And I think there I understood what it means to build relationships of trust in each other from the moment I stepped in that place. Even before, I think every time I talked with my host, we really liked to have these conversations about what I was going to do, the work. But since the beginning on, D, which was my host, he welcomed me in such a beautiful way. It's like I'm not giving you an entrance to a volunteer opportunity, to a job, but you're also entering my house, and I trust you, and I believe in you, and I trust that you're gonna make a good impact in here. That's why I chose you. So that's how I felt while I had experience, not just in there, but also before preparing for my volunteering opportunity. And I think trust is a big thing, right? So, and I think volunteering, I discovered to be such a beautiful way of exploring the question about communities, because you are basically putting yourself into a community that is completely different for you, and you also might be different for others. So while that community might be already set up, you are coming in as an outsider. And how do I, as an outsider, try to bring myself into the community and try to engage with the community in a way that is not invasive? And I think trust from both sides is very important in that situation. And then after Langkawi, I came to Chiang Mai in Thailand, specifically in a village called Mae Sapok, to volunteer in an organization called Daughters Rising. Daughters Rising works with empowering women through education and employment opportunities, specifically to reduce and to prevent and to abolish human trafficking, specifically around indigenous communities in northern Thailand and Myanmar and Burma. More specific, the Karen indigenous community. I was very happy to be able to find this opportunity through contacts and through common friends. And the moment I stepped in here again, I just felt welcomed. And the more time I spend in here, the more I'm sure that I want to come back. I think when I think about the secret of strong and happy communities is also the fact that those communities, they don't just appear out of nowhere. One day a seed was planted, and everyone around took their turns into watering, into watching for it, into protecting water, watching for it, protecting, putting fertilizer and water, protecting, and everyone is kind of shifting roles and making the seed grow together. And that takes time. To build a community that is strong, that is happy, that is based in trust mostly, and that is functioning, it needs time. And for example, again, I, as an outsider, coming into this community and trying to understand what's happening and trying to positively impact the community, I also need to understand that my impact is not going to be caused in a week, in 2 weeks. I need time for that. That's why I decided to stay here for more than 2 weeks. I'm staying here for around 21, 25 days. And that means that my impact is going to come just maybe in the last days. That's when I'm going to leave. But I know that I trust myself and I trust the community, that my work will do something great for them. And I'm also letting that community teach me even before I want to impact it. because to understand and to really create a good impact in the community, we don't just appear there and we give whatever we want to give, but we also need to understand what exactly are the needs of that community. We don't just assume that they need something because we read somewhere, because someone told us, but by living and experiencing that community and hearing from them, especially when it's a community that is completely different for you. So I'm really learning a lot of what it means to just enter in another community, right? So if I really want to understand what's the secret of happy and strong communities around the world and what makes them thrive into this world, I need time, I need patience, I need communication, I need curiosity. Yeah. And it's been beautiful. My work specifically, I work in the fundraising part. So I contact partners, I build campaigns, I research, and all of this so we can expand the outreach of our donation campaigns and of our donation system as well, so we can get as much scholarships for Indigenous women as we can, because that's the main program that Daughters Rising has. I'm gonna leave the link for Daughters Rising here in the link in the description of the video. So if you are curious about Daughters Rising and you're curious about what they do and how they're changing literally women's lives today and how they're basically pioneering this whole movement, please have a look there. And I'm so glad to be able to be here, because I think honestly that my skills are pretty useful somehow, but what really strikes me of being part of this community is that I learn and grow every single day. And I think that's the most important part of everything for me. Entering a community, I don't want to be the person that is like, okay, let's change it, let's break this, let's change that, and all of this stuff, because I'm not. I can't just be like that. I can just be this authoritative person that is gonna say everything. It's gonna say everything is gonna be changed, and use my time and my effort here to understand that, and perhaps by the end of my time, I can give something back that reflects everything I've learned, and not exactly trying to make change from day one. I think if we change a bit normally the cycle that we do in this change making world, I think we first let people change us, we first learn with them, we grow with them, and through those reflections and understanding what we've learned from all of this, then we seek to change something that we see that is important for the community, because we let them change us first. And that's why I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot, and I'm just very happy to be talking about that.